the Arian 400, but we don't have any of the Axion. So the Axion 800 and 900 are gone, which is a shame. I like those. We do have a small Challenger, which is kind of new. So yes, lots of changes. Trying to think what else I was specifically looking for. The layout's different. So, you know, you've got section vehicles, and then you've got small tractors, medium tractors, large tractors, trucks. We do get the Kubota four-wheelers, which would be here. We got these two. We got this 2017. We actually got a named truck, little international truck. The Mahindra's gone. Can't remember if that was still around. There's a motorbike, a prettier motorbike. We've also got an SUV, Skoda SUV. Yeah, I think kind of like when Farm Sim 22 came out, there was a okay, well, for some reason that's not working. Let's jump over here. Strange how that's working. Let's I wonder if that's work blocking me from Twitch on the work PC. That'll be annoying, and that means I really, really, really need a new monitor sooner rather than later now. But anyway, so yeah, I think that there's a lot of... Some people have preferred tractors they like to use, or equipment that they like to make use of, and when it's not available in a new release, it can cause problems. Now, when Farm Sim 22 came out, we didn't have Valtras. We had the Valtra G, which had just been released a previous year, and we had the Valtra Q. No, I don't know that we had the Valtra Q. I can't remember if we had the Valtra Q. But then, sort of late into 22, Valtra released a whole new range of tractors, and we got basically bonus tractors on one of the updates. Basically, when Giants releases a new DLC, we get new, whatever is in the DLC, but then they also patch the game. So they fix bugs, and they add features that the new DLC needs in order to work. So when they did that for one of the 2023 DLCs, everybody who bought the game suddenly got access to all of the new models of Valtra Tractor. Maybe Valtra's releasing a whole new range of AGN Valtras, and Giants are holding off until Valtra announces that before they're available in the game. Possibly. I don't know. Maybe Class is doing the same thing. Maybe Class is updating their Axions, and so we've got the Zerion 12 because that's already been announced, and we have the Arian 400, which I don't think you can get in America. It's a European only tractor. We get the 600 over here, but we don't get the 400. So potentially the 400's not being updated or has recently been updated. But they may be holding off on the Axions until later in the year when Class announces the new 2025 models. Also gives Smetty the opportunity to give us some Class tractors back in the game. The Zerion 3000 I'm using on this map is a Smetty creation. He generally makes the older sort of 2016, 2010, 2012 models. But he also does some of the older Fendt Favorite and 2000s Fendt Vario tractors, so he might be very busy filling in the gaps that Giants has left. He might turn his attention to a Fendt Favorite 500 this time round, if he's still modding. But it does look like Giants has lost that one, and that's such a versatile tractor for a starting farm. However, small Challenger now. And I don't know how much that costs, but looks like a lot of the starter farms have I'm going to do this. There we go. That's better. Okay. Managed to get Twitch reloaded again. Anyway, so changes to the rules, obviously, and I guess we'll eventually get to see what's what. But for now, there's an awful lot of videos. I haven't even watched a Let's Play yet. I've pretty much stuck to, I think Pharmacop did a couple of videos. Oh, how to create an animal pasture. That's kind of cool. So you can go into construction and animals, cows, and do something like that. And it will give you a square, and if you click on that, it will place it. But you have the option to say, I want to do my own field. So you look here, it says this size will hold 15 cows. If you say, I want to map out my own field, the only thing that it does is place the building. And this has a sort of a little feed shed, sheltered feed shed. It places the building, which must be on flat ground or it'll flatten the ground for you, but then gives you two posts, one on each side of the building, and you draw a pasture all the way around where you want the fence to go, and once you join it back up to the start, it'll then ask you, do you want grass in here? So it'll lay out pasture in the field, in the fence, and it'll give you a couple of feet on the outside of the fence of grass. But then this number recalculates for how big of a pasture you just placed, which is kind of cool. So just because the small pasture only has space for 7 animals doesn't matter, because you can there, you know, if you plot out a really big pasture, okay, now you can it'll have 250 cows in it. So, you know, your pasture size is dependent on how big of a fenced off area you give it, which is kind of good. I like that. When you buy cows, where do you buy cows? You don't buy cows there. I don't have any pens, but when you buy cows, you've still got the 0 months, 11 months, 18 months, or whatever it is, but it shows you baby cows, sort of adolescent cows, adult cows. So you buy a different model of each. So those 3 sizes of animal directly dictate to the age that you can purchase. So you can purchase babies, you can purchase adolescents, you can purchase adults. Same with sheep, same with pigs. Goats don't know if goats do wool. I'm assuming goats do wool, but they also do milk. So goats are a kind of cross between milk and cows and sheep's. Bees, don't know. Dog, you can still only have 1 dog shed, but it's not a Rottweiler. It looks like a golden retriever or something like that. So they've changed the dog model, which means potentially, maybe, modders can mod in different dog breeds. You can still only have 1 dog kennel and 1 dog, but maybe there will be the option to have a different breed of dog. With the cow sheds, be very careful which one you place, because some are breeding sheds with no space for milk, and some are milk sheds. So you don't have to pay tons of money to put in a milk shed if you're not breeding dairy cattle. You can also possibly set up a small breeding shed and keep your young and adolescent cows in the breeding shed and move them to a milking shed once they're old enough to milk. Don't know how you transfer cows between one shed and another, but that is all potentially there. This is a problem. Because I can't really see where I am and where I've been. This is why we have things like GPS on tractors, and I think it's time to update this tractor. So, I'm going to run through this field. We'll stick a GPS system on this and get back to the field. And this tractor and the, possibly not the Massey Ferguson, so this tractor is going to be a primary field tractor, and adding GPS on now will not mess with its repair cost anymore. I did just notice this has 37 hours on it, so I'm going to need a repair soon, I guess. Okay, Lamborghini. Let's customize and stick GPS on it. Yeah, that's reasonable. Okay, push that one, push that one, and do that. Oh, engine on. So, now we have GPS on our Lamborghini. Yes. So I think what I'm going to do here is we'll unfold on the edge of the field. I'm going to try and set up the tractor so that half of the, almost half of the weeder is off of the field. So we'll line up something like that. And then, let's see, Shift S, auto width. Go to there, go to there. I actually don't know. 227. Okay, 227's fine. Control S, A plus heading, set A, 227, set cardinal, back. And now, what I should be able to do is ignore that line, and do that. So we're now all nicely lined up. Those are some impressive reversing lights, I must admit. And then we'll lower that. And off we go. So now I shouldn't have any risk of missing anything so long as I've yeah, I have no pens, that's not a problem. What I'm more interested in is there's a little bit of weeds over in this corner that we're going to have to deal with, but now I should be on a line where we'll just run up and down the field and get all of them. That's okay, or not. I'm not going to get all of them because I've picked a different angle to my last pass. So the graphics are definitely a lot nicer. The sounds are, oh my goodness. So when you're driving a cart over bumpy ground, there's the sort of metal on metal clang as things shift, which is quite impressive. So it's sounds and vision is one of those things that I'm not, it doesn't make me want to buy the graphics are just too bad on this, I'm not going to buy it, or the sounds aren't quite right, I'm not going to buy it. Now, in some situations, okay, I'm playing Farming Simulator 22, and some of the mod equipment looks like it was ported directly off of Farm Sim 15. And at that point, that piece of equipment looks out of place because it's, you know, it's not up to the same standards as the rest of the game. So at that point, yes, I am not going to want to play with that piece of equipment because it doesn't look right when put up against everything else. But that's just one piece of equipment. But I would have no qualms about, oh, I'm going to play Farm Sim 15. Well, the graphics are a bit bad compared with Farm Sim 19. Doesn't matter. It's Farm Sim 15. And everything in the game looks graphically equivalent. So I don't have an issue with that. But, as I say, when there is, Farm Sim 25, the graphics are awesome. But it doesn't make me want to play Farm Sim 25. I have an interest. Okay, let's see how good it is. But it's the gameplay that makes me want to play a game, not the graphics, not the sounds. But if you're going to give me good sounds and you're going to give me good graphics, that's going to make my enjoyment of the game better. But you better have some good gameplay. Because if you don't have good gameplay, it doesn't make the game any good. And it doesn't matter how pretty it looks. I'm going to get frustrated with crappy gameplay and not play it. So that's my opinion on sound and vision. If it looks good, it improves my enjoyment, but your number one goal is to give me a good game to play. And if you don't do that, then we're kind of on a losing wicket. That's straightened up. Did that row. I suppose since I'm GPSing this, we can actually run the low level. So that was the other thing I noticed. When he was, I can't remember who it was. I think it was the Farm Sim guy who was doing his Do Tires Matter video. If you drive in the rain, the tyre treads get absolutely caked in mud. Which is kind of awesome. Also, the tractor gets very dirty around where the tyres are throwing up dirt, so that's kind of impressive too. Okay, let's have a look at this. So we've got that line there, and we've got a little bit over here, then we can get back onto the rows again. You can see there's some weeds along here still. Oh, there was also another courseplay patch this week, so that's another thing. Okay, I think that's probably got us close to the end here. So now I've just got to figure out where here there are weeds. I can't see them, the contrast very well here. I think if we turn that off and pull that up, I missed some. So there's a bit there, there's a bit over here. I think if I come down here, try and catch that, I should catch them all. So, let's see what we can achieve here. Alrighty. And I am going to drive this all the way to the end, because I have a feeling the tractor's going to need more than one headland to turn around the weeder and get everything. And of course we've got all the other things to learn. Obviously if I do pick someone's Let's Play to watch, I'll get far more of an idea of what's new on Farming Simulator 25. Do have it now pre-ordered, but I do, as I said, Farm Sim 25 not going to feature on the Saturday morning stream until I get to the point where I've got a map that I want to play. And it could be a Giants Maker map that I kind of look at and say, you know what, this ain't bad. But we're getting Zalonka, we're getting Hutan Panay,